Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 is a waste of $40 and unfortunately a pretty bad game. I have followed the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise since the beginning. I have been there every step of the way and I have loved every single game that has released within the franchise. The fact that we evolved from a two-dimensional point-and-click game into a literal open-world first-person story game is insane. And I could not be more happy with the progress that Steelwall and Scott Cawthon as well as Click Team were able to achieve. Each Five Nights at Freddy's game is nothing short of breakthrough compared to the last. And rightfully so, with the 2-year game development period. However, I believe Help Wanted 2 to be the first game in the franchise that unfortunately was a miss. Now, I have a playthrough as well as an explanation of the endings of Help Wanted 2 in the top right if you're interested, and without further ado, let's begin this video. So, why is this game so bad? Well, you know what? It's pretty fun. I beat the game in around 6 hours, and I got 100%, which included the secret ending, in around 7.5, 8 hours. Now, from my research, I see that content creators and YouTubers kind of beat the game within the same time window. Now, for a $40 game, this already is not good. Having such a low completion time kind of warrants the game to have high replayability, or at least it should. Within the original Help Wanted game, there was so much to play for. I have around 55 hours in this game, which it's not a ton, but it kind of is also not a little. There's coins, Easter eggs, VHS tapes to collect, secrets to look out for when you play the game. There's a lot in the original Help Wanted game. Upon collecting coins, things actually happen. Glitch Trap comes closer to you and you unlock things in the prize counter, which I know no one cares about the prize counter. But coins and tapes and collectibles in this game actually matter, and they're also hidden pretty well. Help Wanted 2, on the other hand, has a total of 11 coins compared to Help Wanted 1's 30, all of which are used for the Candy Cadet. You don't unlock anything, you don't get any secrets, you just kind of get to hear the story of a young girl in a forest told by Candy Cadet. Now, no, the game is not terrible because of the misuse of coins. What I'm trying to get to is there is no grind or anything to work for. Help Wanted 1 was all around much more difficult. However, it had a large difficulty scale, which means anyone from someone who has never played Five Nights at Freddy's in their life to someone who has beaten 420 mode could get enjoyment out of Help Wanted 1, because Night 1 was the easiest thing in the world and Night 5 was pretty difficult. Of Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 2, and 3 I'm talking about. There were also fun mini games to play like Vent Repair, where you can repair a vent while Ennard and Mangle tries to eat you, and the Parts and Service game modes where you do work on the animatronics, Night Terrors. Very fun game overall. There could have been more content, but this was the first time they were reaching into the VR realm, and I think they did a pretty good job. In Help Wanted 2, it's just kind of the same game in a different universe. Yes, there statistically is more mini games to play. There's overall supposed to be more content, but the mini games in this game are very bland and don't warrant replayability at all. Like, I can't even think of any time where I would ever want to do the Roxy makeup minigame again. Well, actually, never mind. That was a bad... Now, I'm doing a brief intermission while editing this video. I kind of came off throughout this video as not liking the franchise as a whole, not liking this section of the franchise, you know, like the sister location and the glam rock. This is actually my favorite part of the franchise and my favorite franchise slash story branch off, like, of anything in the world. Sister location is I would say my favorite game of all time, okay? It has my favorite characters of all time. Ballora, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, all the Funtime animatronics, Ennard. They all have such sentimental meaning to me. You guys, you don't understand how hard it was for me to make this video because of how much I love this section of the FNAF storyline. What I'm trying to criticize in this video is the final product that is Help Wanted 2, not the branches of the story that the game kind of is built from. Anyways, back to the video. Where were we? The Help Wanted 2 mini games. Yes, they were fun. They were really awesome and cool to do for the first time. But I don't see a reason to get back into it. There was no gameplay. It was just trying to survive and complete a task while an animatronic comes after you. There's no skill or thought in the gameplay. You just kind of do something and get it over with. Now, I will say a game mode that is not like this is the food preparation game modes. Those were pretty fun. I will give it that. If I ever take my VR headset out of my mom's basement again, I might replay those food preparation game modes. But other than that, all the other game modes like the carousel or the endo teaching one, or they were just not a game at all. Just a story task. Just a task to complete and not think about when you're done. Now, the lore that was put in place by Security Breach is nothing short of amazing. Security Breach introduced a whole new realm of Five Nights at Freddy's, which is the Pizzaplex. This futuristic mall where the animatronics evolved into their glam rock forms. There's robots that run it, and it's kind of a fun place for kids to go. The storyline evolved beyond the 4 original animatronics, and the original 4 I'm talking about: Freddy, Chica, Foxy, and Bonnie. Security Breach completely opened a new door into like a new, altogether a new universe, which, although it is the same universe, it feels like a new universe. We have new characters, new ideas. We have the Vanny mask. We have the idea that Freddy is actually a helpful animatronic and is the first animatronic that doesn't want to straight up kill you. You know, it builds so much, and it opens the window for games in front of it to build on this even more. And of course, as you can tell by the route that this video is going, Help Wanted 2 did not do that. Now, I know the ending for this game is a jaw dropper. It is a pretty sick ending, but all the ending does is kind of reinforce the ending of Security Breach. Now, here is a huge spoiler, so if you don't know what happens at the end of Security Breach Ruin or Help Wanted 2, you can check out the video that I linked in the top right earlier, which explains it, or just, you know, in the secret ending of Help Wanted 2, it is revealed that Vanessa is freed from Glitchtrap's control. However, we kind of knew this because there's an ending in Security Breach where Gregory is actually eating ice cream with Vanessa, who is not Vanny. The other ending to this game, which is the original ending, which is where you hand Cassie the mask, which is the whole point of Security Breach Ruin. It almost would have made sense for Ruin to come after Help Wanted 2 because we already know Cassie has the mask. And we understand that the protagonist gave Cassie the mask. Yes, Help Wanted 2 helped us realize that the protagonist of the game was Cassie's father, or a maintenance worker that knew her and was turned into a robot by the mask. Yes, but what does this actually show us? Not all that much. The lore from Help Wanted 2 is overall irrelevant, and I don't really care about what the game reveals. It's nothing. Now, a lot of people might be sitting there and still trying to defend Steel Wool, and I'm not trying to attack them in any way. However, the allotted time that they have to make a game is give or take 2 years. Help Wanted 1 came out May 19th, 2019. Security Breach came out around 2.5 years later on December 16th, 2021. And Help Wanted 2 came out around 2 years later on December 14th, 2023. So they had the adequate time to add to this game. So what we got with Help Wanted 2 was a slightly more graphically amusing and lore updated version of Help Wanted 1 that unfortunately was missing the key factors that drove me and other players not only to complete the game, but push for secrets and completing the game. Like I said, I have a lot of hours on Help Wanted 1, and I have 100% the game many times. I have 8.5 hours on Help Wanted 2, and I have around 65% of the achievements with all the coins in both endings completed. At this point, it's safe for me to say I won't be playing this game for a while, and I will be, like I said, leaving my VR headset collecting dust in my mom's basement until 2027 when Help Wanted 3 releases. What would I have wanted to see in Help Wanted 2? Well, although I do find some of the mini games within the game cool, I would have liked to see them incorporate more sister location the same way they did with FNAF 1 through 3 and Help Wanted 1. I'm talking basically the full game. I would have liked to have like mini games where you're actually in the sister location room, not just thrown into a random minigame within sister location like crossing Ballora Gallery. Perhaps they could have changed the game not just to be all minigames, and instead maybe a portal or a side gig for the protagonist to take that took them to sister location instead of just loading into different sister location rooms from the computer. Other things that could have been cool were incorporations of things introduced in the Ruin DLC of Security Breach. Something to do with Glamrock Bonnie other than a stupid collectible, because we see that Glamrock Bonnie was something that existed. We don't really know much of anything about it, but you know, we just kind of have to wait until the next FNAF game to learn more about that. Anyways, I'm gonna stop here before I go on a yapping session, but really, it's unfortunate what happened with Help Wanted 2. I am still a fan of the franchise. I still absolutely love Five Nights at Freddy's, and this will go down as a small bump in the road of an overall long and fruitful journey that I'm sure Steelwool Games will provide nice, luscious, ripe apples in the future, because what we got right now is kind of a soft and mushy mango. You know, like, I'm just adding this again real quick, kind of out of order of the video, but I am upset that they just did the same gig with mini games. You know, you just kind of see a computer, you click something, and it throws you into one singular room where you just complete a task and you're out, back into the real world. It's like a dream. They could have had the character, like, I don't know, get a phone call and find out he has a side gig at the sister location place, and then you actually load into the sister location place, and that is your new home base instead of the stupid room with the computer. Something that didn't just feel like one-sided mini games that didn't really connect to the game or the storyline overall. Anyways, I'm done. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree, and have a nice day.